Well, good morning, everybody. It's Kev Bo Jones here with another episode of the wonderful world of baseball cards. I just wanted to do another Project 2020 update. These were mostly cards that were picked up on the secondary market. I lucked out on all of them in that they actually arrived to me. The two that I ordered directly from Topps are these two here. The Cal Ripken and the Mike Trout there, but it's just crazy. Project 2020 is all the rage. It's amazing to see what's happening with these cards, and I really can't comprehend it. I don't understand it. The exponential, almost hourly growth on these things is really tough to wrap my head around. I'm super glad to be out of the secondary market on these, as prices are basically fluctuating in transit, and it's just amazing to see what's been going on. A couple of these cards were gifts, very, very nice gifts that I'm blessed to have in my collection, because at this point there's no way that I would be willing to drop the cash that's needed to acquire them. A few I kind of saw what was happening early and was fortunate enough to grab them at just above pre-sale prices, and they actually showed up. I was a little worried, but everything with Project 2020 is just so crazy right now. I look at it this way, especially with the cards that haven't been released by Topps. These are about the newest ones that have come out by Topps. This Cal Ripken by Gregory Siff and the Mike Trout Ben Baller. I don't know if anything's gone out since then. I still have 20 cards I'm waiting on from Topps that I bought directly from them post these. That are going out, and it's really scary to think about. I look at an example of a card on the secondary market, like the Derek Jeter that just came out by an artist named Grotesque, who's one of the artists I'm collecting. That card is going for almost $200 now, and no one has it. No one has it in hand. So I look at the scenario like this on the secondary market, especially with the cards that nobody has yet because Topps hasn't mailed them. So buyer A buys a pre-sale Jeter by Grotesque for, say, $17 or maybe 20 some dollars, right? They buy that card from the seller. They think that they have it coming at that $26 price, say. They have in turn listed it on eBay, the one that they don't have yet, that the original seller doesn't have yet. They list it on eBay for, say, $50. Buyer B buys it from buyer A for $50, and now buyer B, thinking he's getting it from the previous buyer, has his listed on there for $150. Now, what happens if that original buyer of that card ends up getting his order canceled, and buyer B doesn't get the card, and then in turn buyer C doesn't get the card? I know it's kind of convoluted to kind of wrap your head around it, but that's what I feel like. I feel like there is a huge impending mess for buyers, for sellers, for eBay, for PayPal. This set is just atomic. That's the only way I can explain it. I've never seen anything like it in all my years of collecting. I'm a returnee to the hobby in the last just little over a year now. And this is absolutely mind-boggling to see what is going on, especially with the secondary market with cards that aren't even in hand yet. I mean, I said I'm waiting for 20 from Topps that are going back to the beginning of May. And I'm patient. But I've checked out on the secondary market, and I feel blessed that everything that I ordered on the secondary market actually showed up. So I thought I would just feature, though, a few of my new additions. This is everything I have in hand, plus my previous video that I featured. So I guess I've got about 20 cards in hand of the first 50. This was the most recent edition, which is this Naturel by or Jackie Robinson by Naturel. This is a beautiful card, almost at this point becoming unattainable. This is card number 3 in the set, and when my brother told me he picked this up for me, he watched my previous video and picked this one up, I think, for about $200 a few weeks ago. And I said, don't do it. You don't need to do it. It's okay. And he was just grateful that I've kind of gotten him into Project 2020 and into the hobby. And so he sent me a few of these, actually, after watching my last video. So I kind of lucked out. I'm very, very grateful. So there's the Naturel Jackie Robinson. His stuff is pretty like cut and dry, straight up. I think probably the most like the representations of the cards featured, the original cards. And then of course we've got a couple of Blakes here. These were also gifts from my brother when he heard that I was doing the Jameson run. Now he wants to do the Jameson run, which is hilarious. But there is the Don Mattingly and the Jackie Robinson. The Jackie Robinson I feel like is kind of weird, but there is the Don Mattingly is fantastic. I absolutely love it. So these were recent additions, but it just again is so neat to look at this set as you just compare these, like these two versions of the card. You know, it's pretty cool. This one is these two are fantastic. This is the Gregory Siff, or the George Brett by Gregory Siff. I am doing the whole Gregory Siff player run, and it's just really neat to look at everything in here. This was another gift, which I'm unbelievably grateful for. This is, I think, one of the first. This is card 11, and it's just absolutely fantastic. I'm doing Gregory Siff's whole run, and then this is the card that really made the switch flip for me on Project 2020, and this is his Cal Ripken. I mean, this thing is absolutely fantastic. I love it. I remember when this one dropped, I was just kind of like, whoa. That is really, really cool. So there's the Cal Ripken by Gregory Siff. This is the most recent card I have in hand. If it's not the Mike Trout here. Yeah, this one, Mike Trout, I guess. The Ben Baller. This is in the cheap case. It's really a bummer. Topps was not prepared with supplies. I think this card ate up a lot of their one-touches, unfortunately, but I'm over it. Gonna have to deal with it. I'm not swapping anything out. I'm just gonna have to make do. This was actually my most recent edition. This one came this week. I was really worried about this one. This was a pickup at $26 several weeks ago at the beginning of May. I think this Gibson and the Clemente kind of came. I think they were released the same day, but it showed up. I was really lucky. And there's the Roberto Clemente. I really like his stuff. Grotesque. I think it's really, really neat. And then finally, Sophia Chang. Of course, I'm doing her run. And here's the fantastic Bob Gibson. A lot of people, again, I say this every video, don't really like her stuff, but when her whole run of 20 is together, I think it's going to be super, super cool and super colorful and just really neat. So I would just urge everyone, caution on the secondary market. It's the total Wild West out there with stuff right now. I see people getting stuff canceled all the time. My brother is also wanting to do the Tyson. My brother's all in on this project. He's all in on this, and he went to buy the Jacob Rochester Ripken yesterday or the day before maybe, and then the seller contacted him yesterday with some line about, oh, it's actually the Tyson Beck, and I it was a mislisting. Sorry. Can you cancel the order? He asks my brother. My brother texts me and says, "What do you think?" I said, "Make him cancel it." And the detail, I mean, it had the Rochester Ripken in there. On the picture, it had the print run. I mean, it had everything. It was a stock photo the guy was using. But he saw that there was like $100 spike on that Rochester. So he's like, well, it's the Tyson Beck one. Then I said, well, why didn't maybe just ask him to send you the Tyson Beck one? It had already been canceled by then. But there's a lot of shady sellers out there. So be super, super careful on the secondary market with this stuff, especially with prices fluctuating by the minute. I encourage you to buy directly from Topps for peace of mind. Plus, you'll get your cards quicker, and you have zero risk of them not making it to you. So that's my PSA for today. This is Kempo Jones with the Wonderful World of Baseball Cards. Enjoy your Memorial Day weekend and collect what you love what you collect. And buy these from Topps.